Is Kylian Mbappe really coming to Manchester United? Here is everything you need to know. Let us be honest for a second. The moment you saw Mbappe and Manchester United in the same sentence, your heart probably skipped a beat. Maybe you rushed to check your phone. Maybe you sent a message to your mate in the Red Devils Transfer Hub group. Maybe you just sat there and whispered, "Please let this be real." We get it. We really do. But before you start printing the shirt or planning the welcome parade down Samat Busby Way, let us slow things down and talk about what is actually happening, what is just noise, and what United fans should realistically be thinking right now in May 2026. This is the full story. No hype. No clickbait, just honest talk for the Red Devils community. How did we even get here? To understand why Mbappe's name is all over social media right now, you have to understand what has been going on at Real Madrid in recent weeks. It all started when Kylian Mbappe was spotted on holiday in Sardinia, Italy, with his girlfriend. Now you might think, so what? Players go on holiday all the time. But here is the thing, his teammates were not on holiday. They were back in Spain, preparing for one of the biggest games in football, El Clásico, scheduled for May 10th, 2026. Real Madrid, the club that once ruled Europe, is currently having one of the most difficult seasons in recent memory. They are staring at a second consecutive season without a single trophy. No La Liga title, no Champions League, nothing. And their fans are not happy. When those photos of Mbappe chilling in Italy came out, something snapped. Real Madrid supporters had been quietly frustrated for a while, but this was the moment the lid blew off completely. Within hours, a petition appeared online demanding that Real Madrid get rid of Mbappe. The title was simple and brutal: Mbappe out. Now here is where things get a little complicated. The petition was hosted on a free platform that does not verify who is signing it. So when some reports claimed it had over 30 million signatures, other sources were questioning whether many of those were real. Some outlets put the number at around 4 million. Others said over 18 million. The truth is, nobody really knows for sure. But even if we take the most conservative number, 4 million angry fans signing a petition demanding a player leave is not a small thing. That is a serious statement from a fan base, and it did not stop there. The training ground row that shocked everyone. While the petition was making headlines, something else was going on behind the scenes at Real Madrid's training ground that made the whole situation even messier. Reports from respected outlets, including The Athletic and Sky Sports, revealed that Mbappe had been involved in a training ground argument with a member of the club's staff. The details are a little unclear, but the message coming out of those reports was that the relationship between Mbappe and certain people inside Real Madrid had become very difficult. On top of that, there was a separate incident involving Antonio Rudiger and Alvaro Carreras, a player who many United fans will recognize from his time connected to Old Trafford. The whole picture being painted was one of a dressing room that had tensions running through it. Football 365 and other football media outlets ran stories suggesting that the relationship between Mbappe and Real Madrid was, in their words, broken. 3 separate reasons were reportedly behind the row, though the full details have not been confirmed publicly. So you have a superstar on holiday while his team is preparing for El Clásico. You have a fan petition with millions of signatures. You have training ground drama. And you have a club that has won nothing for 2 seasons. Is it any wonder the transfer rumor machine went into overdrive? The stats that make this so frustrating for Real Madrid fans. Here is what makes this whole situation so strange and complicated. Kylian Mbappe is not playing badly, not even close. Across all competitions this season, he has scored 41 goals. Let that sink in. 41 goals. In La Liga alone, he has 24 goals in 28 games. In the Champions League, he has 15 goals in just 11 games. Those are not the numbers of a player who is failing. Those are the numbers of one of the best players on the planet doing what he does best. Week after week, he shows up and scores. So why are Real Madrid fans so angry? That is the million-euro question, is it not? The answer seems to be about more than just goals. When a team is not winning trophies, supporters start looking for reasons. And Mbappe, with his high profile, his holidays, his off-pitch stories, has become the symbol of what some fans believe is wrong. He has been called a distraction. Some have even used the word toxic to describe his impact on the dressing room. Whether that is fair or not is a debate for another day. What matters for us as United fans is what all of this means for the transfer window. So, is Mbappe actually coming to Manchester United? Now we get to the part everyone actually wants to know. The honest answer is almost certainly not this summer, and here is why. First, let us talk about what Fabrizio Romano has said. For those who do not know, Romano is the most trusted transfer journalist in football. When he says something is happening, it usually is. When he says it is not, you can take that to the bank. Romano has been asked about Mbappe to Manchester United multiple times in recent weeks. His response has been consistent and clear. Manchester United is not working on a deal for Mbappe right now. That is not his exact wording, but that is the message he has given on multiple occasions. Football 365 covered his comments directly. The headline was straightforward. Despite the tension at Real Madrid, there is no deal being worked on by United. Now, some fans will say, well, Romano has been wrong before. And that is true. Nobody is perfect. But when one of the most connected journalists in the world says something is not happening, it is very different from a TikTok account saying it is. Second, and this is important, Mbappe is under contract with Real Madrid until June 2029. That is 3 more years. Real Madrid have absolutely no obligation to sell him. And given that they paid Paris Saint-Germain a fee, believed to be around 180 million euros to sign him, they are not going to let him go for less than they paid. If anything, they would want more. Think about that for a second. Even if United wanted to sign him, and even if Mbappe wanted to leave, Real Madrid would need to agree to sell. And right now, according to every credible source available, they have no plans to do that. Third, the numbers being thrown around on social media do not add up. Some posts are claiming a 300 million euro deal is done. Others are saying 150 million. These two numbers are wildly different from each other, which usually tells you that neither figure has any real source behind it. Genuine transfer stories do not work that way. The amounts do not randomly double depending on which account you follow. The history between Mbappe and United. There is a long and interesting history between Kylian Mbappe and Manchester United, and it is one worth understanding because it helps explain why fans get so excited every time his name comes up. Let us go back to 2018. Mbappe was a teenager who had just burst onto the scene with Monaco and then PSG. He was already being talked about as the next big thing in world football. According to Ryan Giggs, who was assistant manager at United at the time, the club actually had a chance to sign Mbappe for just £5 million. Yes, you read that correctly. £5 million. The deal was apparently turned down by United's transfer decision-makers at the time. It is one of those stories that United fans bring up regularly as proof of how bad the club's recruitment was during that period. Giggs revealed this in an interview, and the reaction from supporters was, as you can imagine, a mixture of disbelief and frustration. Fast forward to 2019, PSG and Manchester United were drawn against each other in the Champions League. It was a famous and painful night for United fans at Old Trafford as PSG, with Mbappe on the pitch, beat United 2-0 in the first leg. United somehow pulled off a miracle in Paris to go through on away goals, but Mbappe was said to be devastated. Reports at the time said he could not sleep after PSG's exit. That story has always stuck in the minds of United fans. The idea that Mbappe, even then, felt a connection to that club, that beating United hurt him so much. So, In the years since, Mbappe's name has come up in connection with United multiple times. Reports from earlier transfer windows suggested that he was not interested in moving to United because of the style of play at the club. That made sense at the time because United were not playing attractive, attacking football. Why would a player like Mbappe want to move there? But things have changed at United, or they are supposed to be changing. Ruben Amorim is now in charge. There is a new project being built. And while United are still working hard to get back into the Champions League regularly, the ambition is there, which is exactly why the dream of Mbappe to United feels so alive for so many fans. Why social media is making this worse. Can we talk about something that nobody in the football world talks about enough? The way social media is turning transfer rumors into absolute chaos. Go on TikTok right now and search for Mbappe to Manchester United. You will find videos with hundreds of thousands of views claiming the deal is done. Here we go, they say. Mbappe in a United shirt confirmed. The announcement's coming next week. None of it is real. These videos are made to get views. The creators know that if they put Mbappe and United together, fans will click. And fans do click. And then the rumor spreads. And then someone sends it to their mate. And before you know it, half the fan base thinks this is happening when it absolutely is not. Facebook groups, Instagram reels, mock-ups of Mbappe in a United shirt with his name on the back, viral posts claiming a €300 million deal is being negotiated in secret. All of it designed to get attention, not to inform you. Fabrizio Romano has specifically addressed some of these fake "here we go" posts. The real ones come from his verified accounts only. Anyone else using that phrase is just trying to ride his credibility. This is not just a United problem. Every big club's fan base deals with this, but it is worth being aware of so that you can be a smarter consumer of transfer news. When you see a big claim, ask yourself, who is saying this? Where is the original source? Is this from a journalist with a track record or from an account that was created last month? What would actually need to happen for this to be real? Let us do a fun thought experiment. What would realistically need to happen for Mbappe to end up at Manchester United? First, Real Madrid would need to decide they want to sell him. That means either Mbappe himself pushes for a move and makes life difficult for the club, or the relationship breaks down so badly that they decide it is better to take the money and move on. Based on current reports, we are not there yet. Romano says Madrid have no plans to sell this summer. Second, United would need to qualify for the Champions League. This is absolutely critical. A player like Mbappe is not going to join a club that is playing Europa League football. The competition, the prestige, the stage, all of it matters to him. If United do not finish in the top 4 this season, the conversation becomes almost impossible. Third, United would need to find the money. Some reports have suggested United might consider selling Marcus Rashford to help fund a big signing. Now that is a debate that will divide the fan base on its own. But the point is that a move for Mbappe would require serious financial planning. This is not a £50 million deal. You are talking about one of the most valuable players in football history. Fourth, Mbappe himself would need to want it. This is the most human part of the whole equation. At 27 years old, what does he want? Does he want to stay and fix things at Madrid? Does he want a new challenge? Does he see Manchester United as a project worth joining? We genuinely do not know the answer to that right now. None of these 4 things are currently in place, which is why the honest assessment is that this summer, it is almost certainly not happening. But football is the most unpredictable sport in the world. Things change fast. And if even 1 or 2 of these pieces falls into place, suddenly the conversation becomes very different. What should United fans actually think about this? This is the question that matters most for people in the Red Devils Transfer Hub community. Here is our honest take. You are allowed to dream. That is part of being a football fan. The idea of Mbappe in a United shirt, running down the wing at Old Trafford, scoring goals in the Champions League is a beautiful thought. Nobody is going to take that away from you, but chasing fake news and believing every TikTok video is going to lead to disappointment. And frankly, we have all had enough disappointment over the years, have we not? The smartest thing United fans can do right now is keep their eyes on what is actually achievable this summer. United need real concrete improvements to the squad. They need players who fit Amorim's system. They need to secure Champions League football. These are the building blocks that make any conversation about Mbappe even possible in the future. If the club does those things right, the big names will come eventually. Whether it is Mbappe or someone else at that level, the path there runs through getting the basics right first. And if by some incredible twist of fate, the Mbappe story becomes real, you will know. Because Romano will post those two simple words that every football fan knows. Here we go. Until then, enjoy the dream, but stay grounded. The bigger picture. There is something important to step back and appreciate here. The fact that Mbappe's name is being linked with Manchester United at all, even if it is mostly fan speculation, tells you something about how the perception of the club is slowly changing. A few years ago, nobody was seriously talking about United as a destination for the best player in the world. The club was a mess. The football was bad. The results were worse. The idea of Mbappe choosing United over Real Madrid or another top European club would have seemed like a joke. But now, there is at least a conversation. There is at least a dream that feels less impossible than it did before. That is progress, even if it is slow. Amorim is building something. The recruitment is being taken more seriously. The culture is being reset. It is a long road, and United fans know better than most how long these things can take. But the direction feels different now. Mbappe or no Mbappe this summer, the job is to keep building, keep improving, and keep believing that one day Old Trafford will be home to players of that quality again on a regular basis. A word on Rashford and the funding question. Before we wrap up, let us address the Rashford angle because it has come up in several reports and it is something the community has strong feelings about. Some outlets have suggested that United might consider selling Marcus Rashford to help raise funds for a big summer signing. Now, Rashford's situation at United has been complicated for a while, and there has been ongoing speculation about his future. The idea of selling Rashford to fund a move for Mbappe is the kind of thing that sounds dramatic and exciting on paper. But in reality, even a full Rashford sale would not come close to covering the cost of signing Mbappe from Real Madrid. We are talking about completely different price brackets. It is more likely that any Rashford sale, if it happens, would be part of a broader squad restructuring rather than a direct swap fund for one specific player. The two situations are probably connected more by timing than by design. What do you think about that? Would you be okay with Rashford leaving if it meant the club was moving in a new direction? That is a question worth discussing in the community. Final thoughts. So where does this all leave us? Kylian Mbappe is one of the best footballers to ever play the game. He is scoring goals for fun at Real Madrid, even while his club is struggling, and his relationship with the fan base is in a difficult place. He is contracted until 2029. Real Madrid have no current plans to sell him. Manchester United are not working on a deal right now, according to the most trusted sources in the business. The social media noise is loud. The fan excitement is real and understandable. The history between Mbappe and United is interesting and full of what-ifs. And the dream of seeing him in a red shirt one day is one that many fans are not willing to let go of. But right now, in May 2026, the honest truth is that this is a story being driven by wishful thinking more than actual transfer activity. That is not a reason to stop caring. It is a reason to stay informed, think critically, and not get burned by fake news designed to get clicks from passionate fans like you. Keep the dream alive, stay sharp, and remember, when it is real, you will know. Come on, United. Want to share your thoughts on this? Drop a comment in the Red Devils transfer hub. Would you take Mbappe at United? What would it take? What would you be willing to sacrifice to make it happen? Let the debate begin.